What's up, guys? Today I want to kind of talk about what it takes to be a good singer. There's a lot of things that go into, what someone classifies as good. Some things, are cold hard facts. Your pitch and your tone and whatever, the technicalities are, but I think a lot more can go into it to make you a good singer. And last year, Rolling Stone had put out top 200 greatest singers of all time. I didn't really agree with the whole top 20 of them, so we're gonna break all those singers down and we're gonna put them into a tier list. First things first, I want to do a little bit of extra research. I knew a lot of the singers on the list here, but I didn't know all of them. I'm going to listen through, a track or two of each of these artists. I want to stay away from kind of the number one hits that they had, and that's going to be really hard for a lot of these artists. I'm going to try and stay away from them as best that I can. So let's do a little bit of research. Alright, so this is going to be a little harder than I had expected, but I guess that makes sense because, they're the top 20 of all time. Of course it's going to be hard to say who's the best and who's not. Because everybody was so good, I kind of kept saying the same thing about a lot of these artists of, wow, their technique is good, wow, they're really great songwriter. It's tough to say who truly is the best. I was making notes during all these songs and, trying to figure out truly who deserves to be in each tier. So, I guess we should just get into it. Because everybody's so great on this too, I'm taking out the F tier. Truly nobody on this list is an F tier singer, so I changed that to an E tier here. Because even if you make this, you're still one of the best of all time. So, I'm going to try and be as objective as I can, taking my favorites kind of out of the equation and really just, looking at the facts. Even though I said I'm taking out my favorites on the list, one of my favorites that was placed all the way at number 80 was Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell's one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time, and really checks all the boxes of the criteria I was going off of. His vocal technique is amazing. His songwriting is excellent. The emotion that he conveys is ridiculous, and the versatility that he has to go from something like so sweet and calm and chill to screaming bloody murder, ripping your face off. I want to put him at S, but I gotta just look at the facts, and Rolling Stone didn't even put him in the top 20. We're gonna pop him up at A tier here. I wish I could pop them up to S. Number 20, they have as Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye is amazing, a super, super good soul singer. Obviously, everybody knows, Let's Get It On and Sexual Healing, those kind of fun, sexy doing it songs. I feel like he has some good technique and songwriting and emotion, but he kind of tends to stay in his ballpark. But because of that, we're going to pop him here at B tier. Number 19 on the list. One of my favorite artists of all time, Frank Sinatra. Frank, has this style, this sleek, sexy, dirty martini, cigarette smoking dude who's probably going to take your girlfriend home that night. But, man, I gotta be unbiased. Even though he's my favorite, he's not the best singer. He really stays in his wheelhouse. He's not doing anything too fancy. His songwriting's pretty good. He can tell a story and paint a picture pretty well. Next to zero emotion is conveyed, though. And not really versatile. Couldn't see him doing anything else. It pains me to do this, but Frank, you're getting E tier. Oh, I hate to do it. Number 18 on the list is Celia Cruz. Now, I'd never heard of her before. Really good, Mexican, Afro-Cuban type music. Now, that did make it a little bit hard to kind of judge the songwriting. Mi español es no perfecto. But, damn, it is a vibe. I will say that. Really good, energetic singer, though. The technique that she has was super, super good. So we're going to pop her up here at C tier. Number 17 on Rolling Stone's list was Elvis, the King. Now, I know a lot of Elvis's material was covers, and I wanted to kind of judge his originals. I tried doing digging, and finding out which songs were his originals already was hard enough. The ones that I thought were, a lot of them weren't. And so it did take a little bit of extra investigating. Way less of his catalog is originals than you expect. Now, I think Elvis is a good singer. He kind of has good technique at times. I love Elvis, but honestly, not that great of a singer. He does the Elvis thing. That's it. And he's the king of that. So we gotta pop him down here in the E tier. He's good. He's just, I can't give him any higher on the list, honestly. Number 16 on the list is Prince. My buddy Diego Romero, when I'm back in Washington and when he wants to come to the West Side, a lot of the tunes that we do, we'll do some Prince covers. Never really listened to him growing up, but since I started playing with Diego, I really dig a lot of it. I think Prince's songwriting is really good. He has some alright technique, and he conveys the emotion of, I wanna he conveys that pretty well. But I don't really think he is an amazing singer. I think he is a great artist, but I don't really think he's the best singer. We're gonna pop him in D tier here. Sorry, Diego. Number 15 on the list, we got Bob Dylan. Why? I don't have anything against Bob Dylan. I think he is an interesting artist. What's he talking about? Sometimes listening to a Bob Dylan song is like you're talking to your ADHD friend and somebody's playing the acoustic guitar in the background. I think he has a weird, emotionless passion. So, Bob Dylan, we gotta put you in E tier here. I'm sorry, Bob, but I just can't. Number 14 on the list, we have Freddie Mercury from Queen. I think it goes without saying, Freddie Mercury truly is one of the GOATs. He has incredible technique. The songwriting's amazing. The emotion that he conveys, you can't really even put it into words. You just know he means every word he's saying. And the versatility of him. You know, he can really do the super soft and sweet. He can do the crazy rock screams. Freddie's got to get S. He's getting the first S of the day. Next on the list, we've got Patsy Cline. And Patsy Cline's one I forgot, but I think she has a really good technique and really good songwriting. I mean, Crazy and I Fall to Pieces, they're both beautiful, beautiful tunes. But when we're coming here, we're trying to figure out who's truly the best. We're going to put Patsy Cline at C tier. Number 12 on Rolling Stone's list was John Lennon. Now, I am probably one of the biggest Beatles fans there is. He has such an interesting voice with great control. Even though he never had like a proper music lesson, he just kind of figured stuff out. Him and Paul would just write songs, and I think just doing it over and over and over again, he really honed the craft and became one of the greats for a reason. The big reason I think I'm going to place him so high on the list is the songwriting aspect. A lot of the times when I'm writing a song, it's just, I'm focusing on me and like my point of view. And John really easy can separate from that. That's why I got to put him so high. We're going to pop him up here at S. The songwriting is incredible, and his range of what he can write about is what kind of cements him up in S tier. Number 11 on their list is Little Richard. Little Richard's one that I haven't really listened to a whole bunch, but I checked out a couple of these songs, and man, the guy's good. I think his technique is really, really good, and you know, he is passionate about what he's singing. What did I check out? I checked out Long Tall Sally, Good Golly Molly, and man, he just wanted to have a good time. And with the control that he has too, we're gonna pop Little Richard. Where is he? We're gonna pop Little Richard up here at B tier. Number 10, halfway through, we got Al Green. Al Green, I think, is one of the best soul singers there is. He really, really can convey emotion and love and passion. The vocal control that he has too is really incredible. So with everything he can do, we're going to pop him up here at A tier. Number 9 on the list is Otis Redding. Now, Otis Redding and Al Green too, they're both kind of in that similar soul world. But if I'm being 100% honest, Otis Redding just isn't quite as versatile as Al Green was, even though I think he shows his emotion great, but a lot of his songs just tend to be a little bit more similar than someone like Al Green. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put Otis with Marvin Gaye and Little Richard up in B tier. Number 8 on the list, we've got Beyonce. Honestly, Beyonce is one of the most versatile artists on this list, I think. I think she can do, like the Destiny's Child R&B stuff super, super well. And then her newest album, Cowboy Carter, she dips her toes into the whole country world. With her versatility and the emotion she can convey, we've got to pop her up here in S tier. Number 7 on the list is Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is the man. I think he is an incredible songwriter, and the boy's got groove for days. Now, Superstition might be one of the most overplayed songs of all time. He is a good songwriter, good vocal technique. We're going to pop him up here in C. Number 6 on their list is Ray Charles. And Ray Charles, I think, is a great songwriter and shows his emotion really good. I didn't think his music was the most versatile, though, compared to the other singers on this list. His vocal range definitely isn't quite on their level. Now, I love Ray Charles, but we're going to pop him down here at D tier. We're into the top 5. They have Mariah Carey as number 5. I think that's probably one of the hardest calls. She obviously has vocal technique for days, the crazy run she can do the belty stuff, she can do the even higher whistle notes. But I don't think her songwriting is amazing, and I don't think she conveys a lot of emotion in her lyrics. You don't believe what she's saying. But when we're talking truly best singers, she's got so much technique. Even though she's lacking in the other categories, I'm going to put her at C. Just a good middle of the road C. Number 4 on the list might be one of the hottest takes here. They have Billie Holiday as number 4. I think she has a really cool lounge singer type vibe. Songs that I checked out were like Blue Moon, I'll Be Seeing You, Strange Fruit. And I felt like they were kind of all just very mellow, go with the flow, same vibe type thing. And what she did, she killed it. But I don't think it was anything to write home about. So I'm going to pop her down in... Oh, not there. I'm going to pop her down in E tier. I know it might be a hot take. I know a lot of people really love Billie Holiday. I just don't think she could compete with a lot of the artists on this list. Number 3, I did kind of agree with Rolling Stone. They put Sam Cooke. And Sam Cooke is an amazing soul singer. Nothing can change my mind. A change is going to come. Super beautiful songs. And I think that he has really good technique and control. Really, really good at conveying emotion. Like I was saying earlier, like you believe what he's singing about. So we're going to pop him up here in A tier. Easy call. Number 2 on the list. Rolling Stone has Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston obviously has amazing technique. Her songwriting is really, really good too. But I feel like even though she has emotional songs, she's not conveying them in the most emotional way. And what I'm noticing a lot of the times with my favorite singers is when they get emotional. I think it's a hard thing to really do, to fully convey emotion in your song and make people believe what you're saying. That's where I kind of felt that she was lacking. But she has incredible technique. We gotta pop her up here at B tier. Even though she has, kind of the same skill technique as Mariah Carey, I feel like her songwriting is just a little bit better. So that's why I popped her up a little bit higher. And number 1 on their list, the most obvious number 1, I think, and I'm glad Rolling Stone picked her, but it's Aretha Franklin. She's obviously S tier on this list because she is the full package. She has incredible technique, amazing versatility, emotion for days. You believe what she's saying to you. Her songwriting is amazing. And I think it's, very clear that she is an S tier singer. So this is it. This is kind of the final lineup right here. I know there were a lot of hot takes I put out, but I want people to remember this is the top 20, well, I guess 21 singers of all time. So even if they're sitting down here in E tier, they still truly are one of the greats. Like I said, I put Frank Sinatra down here, one of my favorite singers of all time. But just compared to some, he wasn't as good. I was just trying to, put my taste aside and look at the facts of what made someone good, and I tried to arrange them in that kind of fashion. If you guys don't agree with my list, please let me know. Let me know in the comments if you would have put someone in a different spot, who your favorite singer of all time is, that should have been on this list, and make sure you smash the like button. Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out.